Me and my team have built a great brand on social media, predominantly Instagram, and I'd love to give you some tips on that tonight. And I'd kind of started building a personal brand before I got into network marketing. I had a traditional fashion online business, and I kind of used to post cute outfit pics of the clothes that I was wearing. And I'd built a little bit of know, like, trust through doing that. Now, that business failed in COVID, and I got into network marketing completely by accident. And I thought, I've started building a brand on social media here. Can I now pivot this into network marketing? And the answer is yes. If you've got a strong personal brand, and even if you're right at the beginning of your personal branding journey, people are buying into you and not actually what you're selling. And so I'd like to give you some tips on how you can start to build a personal brand. But before I do that, the first thing that I want to say is this: everybody starts at zero. I think sometimes it's so easy for new people to come into the industry, or older people to come into the industry, or, mums to come into the industry and look at somebody who is not like them. And I want you to remember that, who is not like them, and say, I can't do that because I don't travel like Leah, or I don't dress like Leah, or I don't this like Leah. And the whole point that you've heard everybody make tonight is you don't have to. Your brand is so personal to you. So first thing I'm going to say is stop making it about other people. Stop making it about what other people are doing and what other people are posting, and start making it about you. Your personal brand is essentially your logo. It doesn't matter which platform you're building on. It's what people see and think of you from. And it's what people buy into as well. So I want you to think about running your social media, whichever platform it is, like your shop front, because that's what it is. And this was something that I really had to work on when I started to treat my social media like a business, so that it could start to pay me like a business. I had to tidy my shop window up a little bit, and I had to niche it down, which I'm going to come on to. So tip number one is think about consistency. Think about consistency of brand voice, so how you're showing up. Think about consistency of handles if you are using multiple different platforms, and think about the general look and feel of the content that you're putting out there. So I don't know, some of you might be posting like funny content. Keep the humor through the posts. Some of you might be posting serious business content. Keep that throughout and stick to what your brand voice is. And your brand voice is just your voice. It's how you speak to your people, and it's how you speak to your audience. Tip number two, which has been covered a lot, but for good reason, and I'd like to cover it again, is niche down. Pick between 1 and 3 niches on social media. Niches are so personal to you. Stop looking at what somebody else is posting and trying to mimic, because like Mel said before, people can smell it a mile off. If it's not you, don't post it. But find 3 things that are. For example, my Instagram is full of luxury travel, because that's the way I travel and always have. Fashion, because that was what I did and what I love. And there's a little bit of business on there. And sometimes people will sit and go, Leah, I don't stay at the hotels that you stay, or I don't do the things that you do. That's okay as well. Let me give you an example of a completely different niche. One of my top income earners in my company, in my team, is a twin mom. When she started in the business just under 2 years ago, she's completely different to me. She doesn't travel the way that I do. She's got kids. I haven't. She had 300 followers on social media. She has made her whole niche about being a twin mom. She's attracted like-minded twin moms just by being that go-to person talking about that niche subject. And in turn, she's converted and pivoted that newfound audience from her niche that's personal to her into an audience of people that now want to go into business with her. So write down 3 things that interest you or that you are about, and start to put these through your social media. And remember that it doesn't discriminate. Sometimes people say, I'm boring, I don't do anything. Make it about not doing anything. There's loads of people that are sat not doing anything at the minute. Make it about your journey to where you're going with this business and what you're doing it for. And you will, in turn, start to attract people to you. The next tip that I'd like to give you is this: recruiting and building a brand online generally should be a means of connection and not about ads. And what do I mean when I say that? Quite simply, imagine you went to watch a film at the cinema and it was 90% advertisement. You would get so bored that you would walk out of the cinema. You wouldn't even watch the film. You wouldn't even watch the film because you'd just be being ad. You'd be like, where's the film? Where's the bit that I've come to? And so I want you to think about connecting with people. And I use this rule, and I'd like everybody else to just have an awareness of it. I use the 80-20 rule. So on my social media, you will see 80% of what I am doing: lifestyle posts, travel, where I'm eating, what I'm wearing, who I'm with. And the 20% is when you're going to see my business. People are there for me and what I'm doing. I've attracted like-minded people, and occasionally I'll pop in something to do with business. And they'll go, oh, what's that? Because it's attractive. I'm not bombarding you with the same thing over and over again. You've actually come for me, and then it's really easy for me to pivot to business. And why do I say this? People are exposed to over 4,000 micro ads or marketing messages throughout the day, walking around on TV, on the radio, on social media. And therefore, it's important to be a connection for somebody rather than a walking advertisement. And the last thing that I would like to leave you with is this. You've got to start action marketing so that you can get into attraction marketing down the line. Now, what is action marketing? Action marketing is getting in the trenches at the beginning and taking messy action. Building a brand in the initial stages will feel confusing. You're trying to find what works for you. You're trying to find what works for your audience. You're trying to get people to come to you and take note of what you've got access to. And what people fall down on most here is they go, this isn't working, I'm going to stop. So I want you to remember, it takes action marketing at the beginning. The attraction marketing will come later. If you do this right, what will happen is your story, which I know Rachel's going to cover in a minute, but your story about why you're here and why you're doing this will eventually turn into your vision, which is where you're going in this industry and what you're doing it for. So remember, messy action is better than inaction. Just keep posting and keep going.
Leah, thank you so much, my friend.